time is 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Dalmin Samarasinghe and read by Ramesh Pires. First, the headlines. The supplementary estimate of more than 69 billion rupees will be presented in Parliament tomorrow. The Colombo Commercial High Court suspends injunction order against Russian plane. The Lady Ridgeway Hospital rejects media reports on malnutrition. The Electricity Board says there is no need for power cuts following rains. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga gets a 2-year suspended jail sentence. And in news overseas, another Russian general killed by Ukrainian forces. In sports, New Zealand got their Rugby World Cup preparations back on track. Now the local news in detail. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is scheduled to submit in Parliament tomorrow a supplementary estimate of 69.5 billion rupees to maintain essential services without interruptions. Secretary-General of Parliament Dhammika Dasanayake said the debate on the supplementary estimate will be held until 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. After presenting the supplementary estimate, the Prime Minister is scheduled to make a special statement about the country's economy. Mr. Dasanayake said that the provisions under the 8th clause of the Appropriation Bill 2020 are scheduled to be passed after taking for debate tomorrow. The Parliament is scheduled to meet until the 10th. The director of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital, Dr. G. Vijay Surya, has rejected media reports that the children at the hospital are suffering from malnutrition. He pointed out that there is no shortage of food for a child to die from malnutrition. He said that not only the children under treatment, but the person who looks after the child at the hospital are being provided with a nutritious meal. Dr. Vijay Surya said there is no need for the hospital to request food donations. The chairman of the Electricity Board, MMC Ferdinando, says that there is no need for power cuts following rains. He said today that speedy steps should have been taken towards using renewable energy sources. He further said that the people had to face power cuts since power plants had not been built on a long-term plan. He pointed out that electricity charges have not been revised from 2014 to 2022. Therefore, he said that the Electricity Board has proposed for a revision of charges. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has been sentenced to 2 years rigorous imprisonment, suspended for 5 years by the Colombo High Court in the case filed against him over the Mithutamula land issue. The minister was also imposed a fine of 25 million rupees by the Colombo High Court. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi60 from Sri Lanka Insurance.
We continue with more local news. An Indian national has been arrested by the security officials at the Bandaranaike International Airport for attempting to smuggle foreign currency worth over 40 million rupees out of the country. Following a search of his luggage, the security officials found 117,000 Canadian dollars and 19,000 euros. The foreign currency has been confiscated and the passenger was ordered to pay a fine of 10,000 rupees. Minister Douglas Devananda says that a team of NARA will be deployed to look into the quality of ice and fish at Paliagoda Fish Market Complex. The minister mentioned this during an inspection tour of the premises. The minister held discussions with the officials of the Traders Association. He inquired about the closure of retail trade stalls at the complex. It was revealed that the persons who have rented these stalls are not carrying out maintenance due to retail trade in the wholesale complex. Therefore, the minister instructed to use retail trade stalls also for wholesale trade. The minister requested officials not to increase price of industrial ice. He also instructed Paliagoda OIC to take steps to prevent illegal activities at the complex. Another ship carrying 2,000 metric tons of gas imported by Litro Gas Company has reached the country this afternoon. The company said distribution can commence after unloading the stock of gas. A ship carrying 2,500 metric tons of gas arrived at the Colombo harbour yesterday as well. And that ends local news.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi 60 from Sri Lanka Insurance. A health insurance plan to honor our most valued elders by the protectors of the nation. We now give our treasured senior citizens access to the very best medical insurance, specially tailored for anyone over 60. What's more, you don't need medical screening to access this policy. And Medi 60 covers a wide range of illnesses. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 0112 357 357.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to the main news story. The Colombo Commercial High Court today issued an order suspending the enjoining order issued against Russian Aeroflot flight. The Attorney General earlier today requested the Colombo Commercial High Court to remove the enjoining order preventing the departure of the Russian Aeroflot aircraft. On Thursday, the Commercial High Court issued an enjoining order on the Aeroflot flight, restraining it from taking off from Bandaranaike International Airport. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watch Night, Sri Lanka Ports Authority has introduced a complaint mechanism against fraud and corruption. Accordingly, anyone using the port can use the telephone number 94716413332 to lodge a complaint through WhatsApp in case of any fraudulence in operations and services in ports in Sri Lanka. Confidentiality of the plaintiff is fully protected. If the complainant wishes, he or she can file his or her grievances anonymously. And that came to you in Watch Night. A bulletin of world news is coming up. First, the headlines of the world news. Another Russian general killed by Ukrainian forces. A vote of confidence in Boris Johnson will be held by Conservative MPs today. Mercedes recalls almost 1 million cars over faulty brakes. Now the world news in detail. Russian state media has confirmed the death of one of Moscow's top generals during heavy fighting in Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. A reporter with the state-owned Rossiyab said Major General Romanov Kudzov was killed leading an assault on a Ukrainian settlement in the region. Alexander Sladkov said General Sutsov has been commanding troops from the self-declared Donetsk People's Republic. A vote of confidence in Boris Johnson will be held by Conservative MPs today. If he loses, he will be forced to stand down as Prime Minister. The vote was triggered after at least 54 Conservative MPs asked for it. At least 180 Conservative MPs will have to vote against the Prime Minister tonight if he is to leave number 10. Boris Johnson welcomes the vote as a chance to end months of speculation. German carmaker Mercedes-Benz is recalling almost 1 million older vehicles from around the world because of potential problems with their braking system. Over the weekend, the company said it will contact owners of the vehicles as their brakes may be affected by what it called advanced corrosion. The recall affects a total of 993,407 vehicles, including 70,000 in Germany. Back to the headlines of the world news. Another Russian general killed by Ukrainian forces. A vote of confidence in Boris Johnson will be held by Conservative MPs today. Mercedes recalls almost 1 million cars over 40 brakes. And that concludes world news. Moving on to development news. Sri Lankan Airlines Engineering notched up another achievement to its impressive list with the recent completion of a C-check for customer airline Salma Air. Sri Lankan Airline Engineering has been resolute in building strategic partnerships and acquiring maintenance, repair and overhaul projects from other airlines since 2020, bringing in much-needed foreign currency to the airline and the country. And that came to you in Development News.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Moving on to sports, it's rugby. New Zealand got their World Cup preparations back on track as they came from behind to beat Australia 23-10 in the Pacific 4 series. The Black Ferns lost to France and England in 2021 before a culture review led to a coaching overhaul. A new-look side featuring 7 debutants fell 10-0 behind but fought back to give New Zealand hope of a successful home World Cup this autumn. In the opening Pacific 4 match, Canada beat the United States 36-5. The Pacific 4 series hosted by New Zealand continues on Sunday when the United States play Australia and the Black Ferns face Canada. New Zealand and Australia will both compete in Pool A in the delayed 2021 World Cup, which begins in October alongside Wales and Scotland. And that was Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, SLT Mobitel has expanded its 5G pre-commercial trial network across main cities in the country, setting a pathway for customers to experience the transformational power of 5G technology in both mobile broadband and fixed wireless access domains. Customers with a 5G-ready device, which is compatible with SLT Mobitel's 5G pre-commercial trial network, can now experience the transformative power of 5G in 5 cities including Colombo, Kandy, Anuradhapura, Galle, and Jaffna. And that came to you in business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
In economic news, Sri Lanka is aiming to attract well over $1 billion in foreign direct investment this year, an official said, as the country wrestles with its worst financial crisis since independence in 1948. These include proposals by Marubeni Corporation and India's Adani Group to set up renewable energy plant on the island. Renuka Veerakon, Director General of the Board of Investment, told Reuters. And that was economic news. The weather report is next.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
And finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department forecasts showers or thunder showers to occur at times in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Galle and Matara districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northwestern province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the Uva province and in Ampara and Patiklo districts during the evening or night. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The supplementary estimate of more than 69 billion rupees will be presented in Parliament tomorrow. The Colombo Commercial High Court suspends injunction order against Russian plane. The Lady Ridgeway Hospital rejects media reports on malnutrition. The Electricity Board says there is no need for power cuts following rains. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga gets a 2-year suspended jail sentence. And in news overseas, another Russian general killed by Ukrainian forces. In sports, it's rugby. New Zealand got their Rugby World Cup preparations back on track. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.